naivete on the great American ride. The months and years slide past, each more quickly than the last. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see 100 years ain't what it used to be. Oh, got it!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Johnny, hey! Oh, yeah!
He did the guitar face.
Ibuprofen's under buy again in my online shopping cart. Every week I learn of something else I should be doing for my heart. If I use the wrong pillow, I might have trouble getting out of bed. My hair grows in my ears and nose now more than on my head. As a kid, to me, ancient history was something like World War I. But I arrived close to that time than this year as I sing this song. And I'm starting to find I can wrap my mind around life is brief and dear. I can hardly believe my baby girl's turned 26 this year. For a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see everybody. 100 years ain't what it used to be. Before you know it, you're 63, making plans for Medicare A and B. You look around yourself and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be.
Josh Arnold, investment consultant, brings you Garage Logic podcast episode number 1818, July 27th, 2026. 104 degrees, the record high on this day. That was in 1931. And it was 49 degrees on two occasions, 1962 and 1971. Call Josh Arnold at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Haidt in the newsroom, and of course, the rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your man, Joe Soucheray.
I will turn off the crawl.
Yeah, because only Aiken's on the crawl.
Aiken.
Ray writes, I went to the Anoka Demo Derby yesterday and sat out in that lovely 100-degree weather to watch your GL Demo Derby driver, Matt. I haven't been to a derby in about 20 years, but live close to the Anoka Fair, so I figured I would go and check it out, and I must say, your GL Derby driver is without a doubt the most popular driver there. Fans love him.
Yes.
Crowds roared loud every time that man made a hit. And let me say this, that man can hit and drive. I was very impressed. He lost his front bumper about a minute in, and had that not happened, I'm confident he would have won. I think he wheeled it down to fourth out of about 15, which is very impressive for not having a bumper. Talked to him after the Derby, and he's a hell of a guy. Just thought I would let you guys know. Thank you. Matt, well, of course, GL is going to have the best Derby driver.
Yeah, Matt's the man. I did not know the Demo Derby was going to come up to kick off festivities today.
Why not?
Are you guys ready for some controversy?
Yeah.
I worked the Rice County Fair this weekend with the Faribault Lakers. It's our biggest event. We sell beer in the grandstand.
Security?
No, we sell beer in the grandstand.
I see.
You know that there's controversy surrounding the Derby at Rice County?
Really? Was Matt there?
No, he was obviously in Anoka.
Okay.
They didn't have a Derby this year. Anakana, you want to know why?
Why? Tornadoes?
Apparently.
What?
Apparently, what happened was, and Kenny, you're going to have to help me out here. I don't know how this is possible.
No, I don't know anything about derbies.
Oh, okay.
Don't go to me.
People were acting in teams.
No.
Wow.
And ganging up on lone cars.
You mean a couple of cars
So-
would act as a team?
Two guys would give them the nod like, hey, you and me, let's do this.
Oh.
And they would stall out, and they would gang up on individual cars acting in concert with one another. And
That's
apparently,
not fair play.
I don't want to say the last name of the two families that were involved.
Are they famous
But
Derby
they
families?
threw out the Derby this year. They said, no more. Whoa. Too much controversy surrounding the Rice County Fair Demolition Derby.
Wow.
So you know what they replaced it with?
God.
Alligator wrestling.
That sounds like fun.
Kenny, it was awesome.
Did they grease it up first like it was a greased pig?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And we had the Enduros yesterday. We had the tractor pull Saturday night, which was, oh my God, the tractor pull is awesome. It's so much fun. But yeah, Demolition Derby.
There's no better.
more.
There's no better Americana event in the country than county fairs.
100%.
Yeah, I can go shirtless at a county fair and be more
Told us
studly.
this. I'd be Brad Pitt.
Okay.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, way to step on the punchline.
You know what?
You told us last week.
Off
I'm
the
hardly
air.
stepping on a week-old
Off-
punchline.
Off the air.
Kenny, I'm gonna back you up, brother. You know me. I'm a big slob. I go walking through that county fair and I get hey, who's that guy over there selling beer with his shirt untucked and sweating like
You were telling us, though, I
Under
don't know if
boob
you,
sweat.
I don't know if you wish to discuss it, but you were saying the prices are a bit revolutionary.
I couldn't believe what they were charging for food. Yeah, I've been going to the Rice County Fair since I was 5 years old.
Okay.
I couldn't believe, and I don't want to
That's
single
a lot.
out anybody.
Yeah.
But I just I don't even know what they're going to charge for the state fair.
Well, we'll find out soon, won't we?
Hey.
I read a letter to the editor today. Let me stop. Let me preface something. I'm going to keep repeating this because I don't want to be accused of McCarthyism. I don't think this country is near communism. What I do think is that young people in particular are intrigued with their flirtation with it. They're dating it. They're looking at it and they're thinking, boy, a lot of this sounds pretty good. We're not there. I haven't gone off that deep end. There aren't commies around every corner. But it is undeniable that the Democratic Socialists of America are making great inroads. They're very efficient. They have a very efficient political machine, particularly the closer you get to the country's tallest buildings. Okay, that brings me to today's exercise. There's a letter to the editor today in the Star Tribune, the headline of which is Housing Crisis. If we want to fix it, here's how. It's not that long. I'm going to read it. 2 things are needed to solve the American housing crisis. 1, we need to abandon single-family home ownership. Okay, think of that for a minute. We need to abandon single-family home ownership. And 2, we need to create an abundance of what's known as Vienna, presumably Austria, as social housing. And now some neurons are firing in my head. Where have I heard social housing before?
Right.
Market forces have made single-family home ownership a luxury item. Our love of this land-consuming housing type is added significantly to climate collapse. This guy's got it already up to a collapse. And building more of it is going in the wrong direction for the well-being of the earth. Well, but see, let me stop right there. I'm more interested in the well-being of people. One reason people like to own their own single-family home is that rental housing in America is structurally unstable. Non-rich Americans, that must be a class of people now, non-rich Americans who rent can be priced out of their homes by the invisible market or pushed out by the whim of a landlord. Rents keep going up without improvements in quality. The social housing model calls for the government to play a big role in developing and owning housing, thereby ensuring attractive and permanent housing at reasonable rents. Well, this poor fellow is delusionary. Rent increases can be determined by real operating cost increases, not by the market or a landlord's demands for a profit. I'm not sure I understand that. And I've called this guy. I'll tell you about that in a moment. Rent increases can be determined by real operating cost increases. Does that mean like if the electric bill goes up or something, I guess?
If I have to repair something, if something breaks, et cetera, et cetera.
And not by the market or a landlord's demands for profit. So profit would be out of the question here. This housing is available to all non-rich renters. Well, I wonder what rich means.
Yeah.
It doesn't say rich. It doesn't tell us what that means. In Vienna, for example, 80% of the residents qualify for social housing and don't have to move out if their income goes up. Okay, this guy's big on Vienna. I don't know what the situation is in Vienna. Private profit can be part of the system, but it must be based on how well the housing is operated rather than on rent increases. Well, who would determine that, I wonder? The nonprofit housing organization where I have worked for 25 years operates its projects like this. It is doable, but will require a robust commitment in money and effort from our federal government. It's a far better use of resources than the feudal wars of choice. So choice, which involves freedom, that would be out the window. Tim Mungovan, Minneapolis. The writer is Senior Advisor, West Bank Community Development Corporation. So I went to the West Bank Community Development Corporation, looked them up, and placed my phone call and left a message for him. There was no answer, but they have a voicemail. And I learned that if this document is correct, he's the only paid member of the West Bank Community Development Corporation. He's the executive director. He makes $69,221 a year. All the other directors don't make anything. And it's a nonprofit, and I couldn't learn a great deal about it. But I thought, I've heard this before. Some of Tim's language is familiar. Well, you'll recall the discovery of the new DSA platform that we found last week. And under housing, which is housing for all, the DSA says the following. Housing is a human right. Build new, publicly owned social housing. That's the same phrase this fellow used in his letter. Strictly regulate investment properties. He referred to that. Establish universal rent control. He has that in his letter. And guarantee right to counsel for all tenants. Okay. I called Tim. I'd love to talk to him because there are just a couple of obvious questions. Well, who's going to pay for it? He's virtually admitting that you will live in government housing that the government provides and the government builds. There's no he doesn't tell us where the money's going to come from. He said federal money. Well, federal money is our money. So the only thing I can imagine is he views the world as having a number of people who are non-rich. So presumably what he means is the rich people, however that's determined, will have to provide the money to create government social housing. And there would be no more single-family home ownership. Well,
What could possibly go wrong?
This is the most opposite of America you can get.
I was just going to say, this is anti-American.
This is just the most opposite end of the spectrum you can get.
I have so many questions for this guy.
Yeah, Tim, I left a message. I left my name. I left the number, the whole deal.
What do you think of when you think of the West Bank in reference to housing only? You think of Cedar Riverside, that high-rise with the colored panels on the top. That is ghetto. That is absolute squalor from the basement to the top floor. Complete, total squalor.
And
how could that be attractive?
I love the fact that this fellow said this social housing would ensure attractive and permanent housing at reasonable rents. That's all arbitrary. First of all, what constitutes attractiveness? That's up to the individual.
Cedar Riverside isn't even attractive to the homeless.
Well, that's where this outfit's offices are. West Bank Community
So
Development
you think
Center.
he would obviously know what it's like in there, in that affordable high rise?
No, he might very well be a very committed fellow to his socialist agenda. And again, I'm not saying we're there yet, people. I'm just saying Minneapolis and Seattle and Portland and New York, there's a strong flirtation with this. I don't, for the life of me, I could never understand what's attractive about it. It just goes against my being. And there are people for whom this apparently is terribly attractive. And these are our brothers and sisters, and we must live together in harmony.
I followed the American dream path. And by the way, I am the non-rich he refers to. Bought a starter home in South Minneapolis for a really good deal because it needed a ton of work, both inside and outside. We did that. We raised a child there. We sold it. We made a nice profit. We reinvested that profit into the homes we have now, living out in the country. I am still the non-rich. We're doing the same thing with this property, trying to improve it, trying to put a little money in the bank for retirement.
But those are concepts that are essentially rejected in this movement.
What am I doing that's so evil? I'm not rich. And by the way, this property was a rental property, and the rent made just enough to pay the mortgage and a couple of cans of paint every year. I made no profit on this place.
The ideology expressed believes that what you're going through apparently must be some sort of burden that they wish to relieve. You wouldn't have this burden if you here's the paragraph. The social housing model calls for the government to play a big role in developing and owning the housing, thereby ensuring attractive and permanent housing at reasonable rents. Well, that's utter B as in B, S as in S. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
I came to a conclusion, what our letter writer and the socialists are, they are the weak among us, and the weak are trying to lead the rest of society. I am willing to take a chance. I'm willing to go out there, go broke, fall down, break a leg. I'm willing to take chances in order to succeed in life. They are not. They are the weak, and they think all of us should be weak like them.
Well, weak is one way to look at it. You guys don't like me to use the term dark people.
Yeah,
do not, because you think it'll be misconstrued.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
2026.
So,
Yes, it will be.
I've never meant by that skin color. I meant people with a dark outlook on life. I'm willing to change it. I'll no longer call them dark people. They're evil people.
That I like that a lot better.
That's to deprive me or anyone of their freedom is evil. Now, in fairness to this Tim guy, he's speaking to people who've been, their brains have been wiped clean by the failed academy, starting in kindergarten. The failed academy has done a wonderful, wonderful job in creating the masses that are experiencing and wish to experience a flirtation with this.
Yeah.
They don't want to go through this hassle. They don't want to go to Menards and buy sheets of plywood and try to fix up a house.
It sucks, but it's part of life.
But they believe that they have a view of the world in which you won't have to be bothered by that, and then your time can be spent doing more important things.
And then I'm living in Cedar Riverside.
And then you're living
Squalor.
and now what the more important things are, I don't know, because they have a collectivist view of what's important. So I don't see it as I don't see any of their thinking as life affirming. I just don't see anything that accommodates the innate human sense of freedom, which is an inalienable right.
Yep.
They're not granted. Those rights are not granted by a government. They would wish that your rights are granted by the government and determined by the government. They will build the housing. Now, this fellow has to account to us, where are you going to get the money? And he'll probably say, from the rich. Okay, who are the rich? Where's the cutoff line? How do you determine it? Will some people get to still live in a house that they build themselves? What life do you foresee me living, pal? And he's completely backwards. Well, it'll be federal money. That's our money.
That's my money.
That's my money. The feds don't have any money. The state doesn't have any money. The cities don't have any money. That's your money.
I'm such a moron that when I think of the rich, I mean, a moron according to them, the weak. I'm such a moron that when I think of the rich, I think of people who pay the most in taxes already.
Would you like to head to New York?
And then consult with who?
Your guy, Mayor
Zorro Mamdani.
Moron Zamdani. He's going to be opening 5 city-run, tax-funded grocery stores. Prices set at, gentlemen, 30% below retail prices.
I have some questions about that, too.
Here's how it will work. Once a month, our 5 city-run grocery stores will set prices for this core set of goods at 30% below typical retail prices. No exceptions, no gimmicks. The savings will last for the entire month. That means no weekly fluctuations nor sticker shock at the checkout line.
How?
Okay, let's play a game here, shall we?
I have the story.
How's that going to work? That means the Cub Foods of New York City, the Lunds and Byerlys, the Kowalski's Markets, the Aldi's, you're going to drive them out of business. Then what's going to happen?
Will they, though?
No, I don't think they'll drive them out of
I
business.
don't.
I think this will disappear before Lunds will.
Yeah, this is dead on arrival.
Because here's why. I have this story. It's a New York Times piece. Mamdani is promising that city-owned grocery stores will bring down prices 30% for vegetables, meat, bread, and milk. Okay. The discount will cover this core basket of healthy groceries. Well, here's the full. It includes produce, meat, seafood, pasta, bread, yogurt, butter, nuts, rice, and beans. But those stores, the city-owned stores, will sell other products at regular market prices. All right.
Okay.
This discount could save the shoppers $90 a month, or roughly $1,000 a year, and that's an analysis by the city's Economic Development Corporation. And Mamdani said, well, we New Yorkers deserve stability. Well, okay. Every week, New Yorkers walk into a grocery store hoping the prices haven't gone up again. A trip to the grocery store should not spell dread for New Yorkers. Okay. Who is going to pay? Who is going to pay for the seafood, meat, bread, pasta, yogurt, butter, nuts, rice, and beans at a 30% discount? Where is that? Where are those products supposed to come from?
Oh, pick me.
You
pick
in
me.
the back.
The taxpayer of New York City. That's who's paying for
The
it.
rich ones?
Yeah.
What determines that?
Oh.
What's the cutoff level?
I don't think there will be one.
This makes no sense. Who is going to produce for Mamdani's 5 grocery stores bread that they're willing to sell 30% cheaper than they normally could? Where's he going to find that?
Is running or owning a grocery store, do you print your own money there?
No, they're running on the thinnest of margins as it is.
The overhead must be incredible.
So where are you going to find a yogurt manufacturer who said, you know what, I could get $2.99 for this yogurt if I just sell it regular. But for you, what's 30% off $2.99? Well, about $1.
cents.
Let's just call it $1. But for you, I'll sell it for $1.99.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
of you.
so you're talking about the food distributors, correct?
Well, how can they
Here's
do
what
it?
I see happening is the lettuce that's picked off the floor of the trailer, the semi.
Yeah.
That's the shit that's going to the New York City-owned grocery store.
Yikes.
It's the garbage. Because what distributor is going to say exactly what you just said? Instead of getting $2.99 a pound, I'll go ahead and sell it to you for $1.50. No distributor is going to do that.
And the milk, is that going to come from the disabled cows, the ones that aren't really at top?
That's the
top drawer,
non-pasteurized.
you know?
All I'm
It's
picturing-
non-pasteurized.
the
Joe.
Napoleon Dynamite scene where this one got into an onion patch.
Well, no, you got the cows, they're all lined up and they're giving good milk. But
Yeah.
then over in the other corner of the barn, they got some, people that
one with 3 eyeballs.
Cows that just haven't,
Bad
they just haven't
chromosomes.
been acting up.
Looks more like lemonade than
and
milk.
so,
Yeah.
you get your milk from those cows.
Straight from the teat.
They're kind of like ghetto cows.
Ghetto cows, straight from the teat, served to you in a bucket.
Oh, God.
This looks like Kool-Aid, not milk.
No, I said,
says to him.
there is no communism in this country. But if nothing else, it's extremely entertaining to point out the flirtation with this is extraordinary. This mayor, who I happen to believe is a crackpot, he's already got 5 city-owned grocery stores, and he's bragging now that once a week, is it all of them that'll have the discount, or just one of the 5? Well, all 5, 30%. They'll never make the math work. It'll never work. And when it comes to housing, I don't know what Mamdani is up to, but here you got a guy, the executive director of the West Bank Development Corporation, telling us that the government will build and own there are going to be apartments, and that they will be attractive. Well, that's among the many, many statements he makes that can't be demonstrated. Attractive according to whom? Everyone has their own taste. But there is a great swath of Americans below the age of, I don't know what, 35, that have been, power washed through the failed academy, and they're entertaining this flirtation. They're entertaining it. They're looking at it. They're talking about it. And
did you ever have roommates? I first moved to Minneapolis because I was broke. I had at one time 5 roommates. We were all in the same boat. We were all broke, but we had enough to pay a house rent. Isn't that just part of growing up and being
an
broke
adult.
and turning into adults?
Yeah.
no, see, we have to re-educate ourselves. We have to realize, just like we made the discovery a couple of months ago, we were always going down the wrong road, saying Minneapolis has elected the wrong people. No, Minneapolis elected exactly who they wanted.
Yeah.
Now we also have to accept the fact that these are a group of Americans who don't accept what you're saying. They're willing to try a different way, even if it means living in a 500 square foot government-owned box on a light rail line. They're flirting with that. They think that might be the answer. The answer to what? Them not having to do much is the answer.
Tell me what the answer is when neighborhoods routinely, all the people that own cars get their windows broken out 2 to 4 times a year. What's the government say about that?
If you had a car and you weren't so married to an evil internal combustion engine that is helping to destroy our mother, the earth, you wouldn't have this problem.
That was really a slow pitch, wasn't it?
Yes,
You
it
just
was.
knocked her out of the ballpark.
You don't need a car. You shouldn't have a car.
Yep.
And the day will come when that isn't a crime to break the windows of a car. That's a statement made on behalf of the earth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, the guy
That's your payback.
the guy that scratched up Tesla's just got a raise and a promotion.
But I was just thinking of that guy. Yep.
Summer is here, man. Is it ever? It's a hot one.
Steamy.
It's a good time to get work done so you're not getting that work done in the winter, particularly with your garage. And if you need a new garage door, get a hold of Precision Garage Door. They have models for every budget. The designer comes out to your place, you take a look, you go through the catalog, bing, bang, boom, increase the value of your home, save energy, provide better security with a new garage door from Precision Door. And right now, get a $400 trade-in credit for your old garage door when you purchase a new Precision garage door. If you like your door and you still think it's got years left, but you don't like the way she's acting, get a Safe and Sound tune-up, a $79 Safe and Sound tune-up package. They'll throw some diagnostic 25-point safety inspection at it, and they'll lube it up and get it quiet and working again and tell you how long that baby's going to last. Book online at Precision Door MN, one word, precisiondoormn.com, or call Precision Door at 612-263-6985 to schedule your free on-site new door estimate or book a Precision Door Safe and Sound package.
It's the end of the world as we know it, and he feels fine. Joe Souchere.
Let's talk about the big three, the three Seafoam products no GLer should go without, since we are right now in the middle of a historic, never seen before, global heat wave event. Let's start with the very obvious. Bugs Be Gone. Look, I have a jug right here of the Bugs Be Gone concentrate. Gone are the days of scrubbing and smearing. Just spray this stuff on after a few minutes, wash it off, or use the gas station squeegee, and you'll wipe the window clean. Not only is it safe on all surfaces, including the environment, it works on any organic material and really makes getting rid of bugs and other stuff sort of a magic trip. It really works that well. Next in order of summer necessities, the Seafoam engine additive. Once a month, give your cylinders a nice healthy pour as insurance that your engine will remain clean and responsive during these hot days when it's working extra hard for you. I have a tendency, I've noticed, to leave the truck running and the AC on when it's 100 degrees out. That can't be good for the engine, but I do it anyway. And of course, the big one, Seafoam Deep Creep. This stuff is a must have. You'll never know when a rusted mechanism or a squeak or a squeal or a sour note will kill your chill. That's why I have a can of Seafoam Deep Creep within reach wherever I go. The vehicles, the shop, the garage, the house, even the Krabby coffee shop. Look at this. I got one within reach. Here it is, Seafoam Deep Creep. This stuff is everywhere around the ranch. It's really easy to find. If you don't see it on the shelf of your nearest store, be sure to check out the Seafoam store on Amazon. Wonderful Seafoam products to ease the pain in a very bewildering world.
A transgender woman fled the U.S. She was seeking asylum in the Netherlands. Now she fears she could be hurt or killed because she's been thrown into a refugee camp that's run by...
I know what you're going to say.
Run by people who don't like transgender people.
Yeah, don't tell me.
I couldn't believe just the first line of what you said. A trans is going to the Netherlands. Oh, I already see a problem. She should have done some research.
She feared for her safety, it's a she, I think, because of Donald Trump.
Oh, sure.
Her name is Jane-Michelle Ark. She's from California. She left the U.S., believe now that she must have been a male, right? And now she's a female. And she's a software engineer. And she decided to flee the U.S. after a harrowing incident in which she feared being run over by a truck.
Huh.
Well, you know, a lot of people who aren't trans could have that same experience.
I've had that experience.
And so she went over there, and now she desperately wants back. She wants back in the USA, back in the USSR. So I don't know what to tell her. She's not listening to me. But she's running into a lot of the Islamic situation in the camp, the asylum that she's in. And the trans is not really the Islamist cup of tea.
No.
That really wouldn't work out too well.
A lot of Muslims have settled in the Netherlands.
So, boy, she's caught between a rock and a hard place here because she wants out.
Well, do we have to go into that camp and snatch her out of there? We're not refusing her entry, are we?
Right. No.
No, why would we?
Is this going to be a Brittany Griner deal where we got to trade somebody for her?
She said that fleeing the country was the dumbest thing I ever did. I did it because I was afraid for my life. Well, okay.
How are you feeling now?
In a post on this is from the Daily Mail. In a post on Substack, she wrote how she wants to return to the U.S. Leaving California showed me how I cannot leave California. I thought when I left I was growing something new here in the Netherlands, but it's time to go. Long past, in fact. And she's got people trying to raise the dough for a new passport. Escalating violence against her as a trans woman and a lack of protection from U.S. authorities left her feeling that her best option was asylum in the Netherlands. Since then, she has seen the light and realizes that I made a big mistake. What did you expect, sweetie? What did you think? Did you think it was just going to be great? I mean,
I'd love to know what her research process was. Why the Netherlands?
see, the asylum center is an Islamic asylum center.
Yeah.
That's the problem she's experiencing.
Oh, yeah. I understand what's going on there.
And that's she should have known enough that if that's where she was going to end up, maybe she didn't know that's where she'd end up. And I don't know why she ended up there, because it's the Daily Mail. It's a lousy story, but she's over there and she wants back. So to at least her at the moment, Trump doesn't look that bad.
There was also a story. You guys are going to have to help me fill in the details here. A woman who also, hated Trump. I'm going to move out of America. She, how do you say it when she converted to Islam?
Converted to Islam.
Okay, I didn't know if there was a specific term. Sorry. Then she married an Islam fella.
Sure.
Moved overseas and he killed her.
Oh, but they get to do that, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe she washed the dishes wrong or something.
Something like that. I had something.
Is that a bad law or a good?
Yes, Kenny, it's a bad law.
Okay. All right.
He's just taking a quick poll.
I know he's just wondering out of curiosity. Did you guys read the Alpha News piece on Minneapolis City Council's Michael Rainville?
Yeah.
Saying something I've been saying for ages, that why all these budget crises? These people can't budget.
Yeah.
And the reason they can't budget is they haven't had to.
Right.
Because they just keep coming back to the taxpayer and getting more money.
Yeah.
No, you have to budget. And they don't.
We had Rainville on Krabby a month or so ago and talked about all this. He might answer to the Democrats, but he is, I would call him, remember when we used to say fiscally conservative? That's what he is. He knows how to use a calculator.
He said, we can't keep raising property taxes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm with you, Mike. We can't. What's going to happen? Again, it's just a flirtation. But what's going to happen if the DSA gains even more power? What if you're living in the 500 square foot box on the light rail line? Who's going to be paying for the city's wants and needs? You don't have any money, and you're the non-rich.
Yeah, it'll be the rich among us.
So, well, who are they?
Right.
They would shrink real fast.
I used to think it was people making over 100,000. That is not true. They are not rich people.
No, not at all.
They are the ones struggling to get by with the rest of them.
Rainville describes himself as belonging to the fiscally conservative wing of the city council.
Yep.
You mean there's a whole wing of fiscally?
There's 3 of them, I think.
Elizabeth Schaefer.
4 of them. Yeah.
Latricia Vitaw.
Latricia
Vitaw.
And the new gal, I forget her name.
Pearl
I'll look it up
Warren.
right now. Pearl Warren, thank you.
And
Yes.
Rainville. So
Yep.
there's 4
Yep.
people who are not totally insane.
And boy, do they have a daily struggle on their hands in those meetings.
Because the council, it's what's happening the closer you get to the country's tallest buildings. It's divided between the DFL and the crackpot DFL. It's divided by the old DFL and the DFLers who are enjoying this flirtation with socialism.
Just call them DSA.
Right,
Yeah.
DSAs. And in fact, they've had to hire people that the taxpayers have had to pay for. They've had to hire the coaches come in and help them get along.
Marriage counselors.
Yeah, they're counselors. We have to pay for that.
Now, how's that make you feel, Aisha? Chuggy?
Well, the chug blew her top, so she's getting mental health someplace.
She went bonkers.
She had enough, and they're taking care of her.
The chug.
Somebody is the chugger, and I hope she's fine.
What about Chowdy?
The chowder? Where is the Chowder? I don't think she took a mental health break yet.
She's Ward 12.
The Chowder.
When you I have a question, just being bombarded with political ads over the weekend. When you take a mental health break, are you still fighting for us? Or do you take a break
no,
from the fight?
you're not fighting at that point.
So you're not fighting at all?
I have the remote position in such a way that if the news is on at dinner and a Flanagan ad comes on, or any ad.
Yeah, you can jump on the mute.
Mute.
Yeah.
I can't take it.
Yeah,
I just can't take it.
I'm going to go out here and make an admission that you might mock me for. I occasionally need mental health days.
I'm not mocking that at all. That's
Case in
very
point.
real.
A couple of weeks ago, I decided, you know what, screw all of you. You all suck. And I got in my truck.
Wow.
And I drove out to the mountains.
Yeah.
Returned 3 days later, all better. Brand new person.
Yep.
Mental health weekend. It was awesome.
Sometimes you do that when you drive grain cars.
Yeah, that's another mental health day.
Not a grain card, but you drive
grain cart. Yeah. Nothing better than going road gear in a field.
And there's nothing better than just miles and miles of nothing.
You know how I do it? On my EcoFun scooter.
Really?
Well, it turns every urban journey into an adventure. And I've got routes that are unbelievable. I got routes, I won't see another car. I take such a back roads way with the scooter. I got it. It's a Yamaha. I got it at EcoFun Motorsports, the most fun store you'll ever enter. It's on Highway 97, immediately west of 35, up in the Duluth-Columbus neighborhood. But just just immediately. Well, here, look at the video and don't worry about me. It's immediately west of the interstate on Highway 97. 300 e-bikes in stock. It's the electric bike capital of the world. Great selection of motorcycles, Kawasaki, Aprilia, Yamaha, Moto Guzzi. Scooters on sale at $14.99. Okay, make up your own mind. Do 90 miles of errands on 1 gallon of gasoline. Be careful. You don't get near a freeway or anything like that, but you're going to run down to the hardware store, get something, boom. 90 miles of errands on 1 gallon of gas. Kawasaki mules, side-by-sides, Yamaha wave runners, and Kawasaki jet skis. It is the most fun store you'll ever entertain you, to let entertain you, and it's got a website that's terribly, terribly tempting, EcoFunMotorsports.com. It's EcoFun Motorsports on Highway 97, just west of 35, Forest Lake area, and down in Burnsville on the Service Road of Life near County Road 42. It's EcoFunMotorsports.com.
Here's a man who spends hours in hardware stores, sifting through the nuts and bolts of life. Joe Souchere.
Hofferman Water and Connecticut, they are here for you. Why? Glad you asked. They want to create worry-free water for you and your family. They have done that for me. They will do that for you. Like I mentioned, I started out as a customer of Hofferman Water and Connecticut, and it made an amazing difference in the quality of my water. And they've been changing people's lives for over 50 years. That's what they do, Hofferman Water and Connecticut. And right now is a wonderful time to get on that schedule and have them come out for that free water analysis. When they show up to your door, they will test your water and then give you a water score based upon the hardness level of the water inside your home. And then based upon that water score, they will give you different recommendations on how they can upgrade the quality of the water inside your home. They have done that with me. They will do that for you. The K5 reverse osmosis system is absolutely fantastic. But you got to call them up directly, 612-895-2440, or better yet, book your appointment online at HoffermanWater.com. Either way, you can get on the schedule and have them come out today. Hofferman Water has been proudly serving the state of Minnesota for over 50 years. Please do me a favor and mention that you heard about them right here on the Garage Logic podcast.
Here's Johnny Height.
Thank you, Joe. This news brought to you by North American Banking Company. Sports note, Pat talked about this a bit on Friday. John Anderson, the winningest baseball coach in Big Ten Conference history and a member of the University of Minnesota program for 5 decades, has died at the age of 71. Anderson retired in 2024 after 43 seasons as head baseball coach. He finished with he had 1,390 wins and 1,021 losses. He ranks 3rd in Big Ten history, 20th all-time among NCAA Division I coaches in career victories. He was a former Gophers pitcher who joined the program in '74. He became Minnesota's head coach in 1981 at age 26, making him the youngest head baseball coach in Big Ten histories. His teams won 19 NCAA tournament appearances. Made 19 NCAA tournament appearances, won numerous conference titles, and reached the program's first NCAA Super Regional in 2018. In other news, a Minnesota man accused of threatening federal agents and targeting a Michigan man online pleaded not guilty this morning to all counts in his first court appearance. 37-year-old Kyle Wagner is one of 15 anti-ICE protesters charged in connection with posts made during Operation Metro Surge. Prosecutors say Wagner doxed a pro-ICE individual by posting the man's name and address. According to a criminal complaint, Wagner, who the Department of Justice says is a self-proclaimed Antifa member, called for people on several occasions to impede federal immigration enforcement in Minnesota. Wagner remains in custody and just arrived in Minnesota from Michigan. Judge ordered him to stay in Minnesota pending further court hearings. The next hearing has not yet been scheduled. An in-house political claim by State Senator John Hoffman is creating waves in the Democratic primary race for U.S. Senate. On Friday, during a rally in support of Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, John Hoffman said Flanagan's opponent, U.S. Rep. Angie Craig, sought his endorsement last summer while he was in the hospital, recovering from the attack in which he was shot 9 times. He said, when Flanagan's opponent would check on our family, she asked that I endorse her campaign. She sent a dear friend out twice, once when I was in the ICU and once at our home, and I'm being public about it because it really hurt me. While Craig's campaign vehemently disputed Hoffman's version of events, it said, we cannot imagine the pain and trauma the entire Hoffman family has and continue to experience, but the claim is categorically false, according to a Craig spokesperson. The campaign sent 5 Eyewitness News a screenshot of text messages that Craig sent to Hoffman, one on the day he was shot and again nearly 2 months later when Hoffman began making political endorsements in other races. The text on June 14th said, Cheryl and I are praying for you and Yvette and our entire state, John. We are devastated by this attempt on your lives. The next message dated August 5th, after Hoffman endorsed State Senator Matt Klein to fill Craig's seat. That message says, John, again, I'm so grateful for your progress and your recovery. I'd love to talk with you about the open Senate race when you're up to it. Well, the follow-up text did come after Hoffman's July 7th discharge from intensive care, but in a statement yesterday, Hoffman said those texts do not address the substance of what I said, that a dear and trusted friend approached us twice on her behalf regarding an endorsement. That friend confirmed that the endorsement request came from Congresswoman Craig. Hoffman said Yvette was also present for those conversations. I did not invent them, and I will not allow our family's experience to be dismissed simply because it's politically uncomfortable.
Well, firstly, Hoffman has endorsed Flanagan. Correct?
Yes, correct.
I think we're getting some sort of inside look here at the inner workings of the club.
How dirty it actually is.
Yeah, and John Hoffman, if you're listening, I'm not talking about your injuries or anything. I'm just talking about politics now. And Hoffman, boy, I don't know what to say.
I know what to say.
Okay.
In GL speak,
Yeah.
what did Angie do to Hoffman?
Oh.
She said, "What's coming up on the ride?"
Yep. In GL speak. Well,
That
I don't
means-
even know if I believe Angie Craig did this. They seem to be. He seems to be referring to a common dear friend.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, right.
Well, maybe the dear friend is also in the club, the Third Rail Club, and they're really they're rearranging their deck chairs right now because Walls is leaving. And so Hoffman, it wasn't enough apparently I'm just speculating, it wasn't enough to endorse Flanagan. He's now painting Craig in a bad light.
Yeah.
Because she said, "What's coming up on the ride?"
Yeah.
Which, for new listeners, we use that phrase to
It's mostly done among the five of us.
right. And
Because
what
we
it
like
means is
giving
if-
each other the needle.
if somebody's telling us something serious, maybe they had an illness or something, we go, yeah. What's coming up on the ride? Meaning Royce's
Like
appearance on
when
the show.
Joe was in the hospital a couple of weeks ago.
I'm sure
Hey,
you all ask each other what was on the ride.
Joe, yeah. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear you're in the hospital.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to that little car of yours?
You're right. What's coming up on the
And
ride?
it stems from back in the radio days when Joe would see the clock winding down to 58:50 and knew that he had to be out at 59, and that was what he had to ask.
But getting back to the club, it sounds to me like the current club is dependent on Flanagan getting the nod because she's been a useful idiot to them. You can't hide the fact that she's been part of the fraud manipulation.
Sure.
What I'm not saying she put money in her pocket, but and as dumb as she is, she knew what was going on. So they want Flanagan in place, and now you have Hoffman making this really what's essentially a very ugly accusation about Craig. Craig denies it, and I have no reason to disbelieve her denial. She showed the text she sent. But then Hoffman says, yeah, well, it was a friend who came on your behalf.
I like your theory. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing
It makes
basically is
sense.
a political
This is
maneuvering.
all gamesmanship.
Yeah, certainly.
Because Hoffman, thank God, is recovering, which is miraculous, and his wife's recovering, and it was a horrible, horrible tragedy. But there was no reason for him to bring this up. There was no reason for him to bring this up unless he thinks it could help to punish Craig because they really need Flanagan in place to keep their machinery in place.
Which either way,
it's just so sordid.
It just shows you how seated and dirty the political game actually is.
I was going to use the word greasy. It's just
it's so
it's
greasy.
gross.
Because John, God love you, you could have got through a day without dragging this out because not a lot of it makes sense.
Was this the story in question off the air?
What?
No.
Okay.
No,
All right,
he
we're
meant
still
John.
waiting.
He meant John Hoffman, not me, when he said that just now.
Yeah, I meant John.
you knew. Oh, okay.
Because we're all waiting with bated breath.
Well, that's up to what Height does in his newscast.
yeah.
He hasn't done much yet either.
A lot,
Lot
of
of
pressure
pressure.
on John today.
Lot of pressure.
Whether he
You know,
does
you-
a mystery
I
story
have
or
confidence in John. I'm sure
not. That he's going to do the story?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Does it mean he's going to rip Trump?
No. Just
That's too easy. It can't be that. That's
I
too
skipped
easy.
5 stories.
okay. I'll
because-
give you a
yeah.
clue. It has nothing to do with Trump.
Okay.
Okay. Boy, now.
Well, just resume your news.
Okay.
No, he's nervous.
You know what would solve this whole story that I just read? If we knew who the friend was and they weighed in. That would
That would
solve
be
everything,
fun.
wouldn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
then we'd know
Yeah.
one way or the other. So,
No, you're seeing how the game's played, people.
yeah. A man died Friday after he was hit by a train in Anoka. The Anoka Police Department said emergency crews responded at about 9 in the evening near Ferry Street on a report of a person hit by a train. Police said a man was struck after trying to cross in front of an oncoming Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railway train. Police said he was pronounced dead at the scene. BNSF said no crew member on the train was injured. The railroad company noted the crossing is equipped with crossbucks, gates, lights, and bells, and they were all working at the time. Now, that rail crossing is adjacent, right next to the Anoka County Fairgrounds, just south of it, and the fair was going on this weekend. So the assumption is the man walked from the fair. So
the trains usually win in those cases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Former Minnesota defensive end Everson Griffin charged with not driving with an ignition interlock. Latest vehicle charge he's faced in recent years. Griffin was reportedly pulled over in Winona Thursday night, about 8 in the evening, after reportedly driving 62 in a 40-mile-an-hour zone on Riverview Drive. According to court records, Griffin was using a vehicle that did not have an ignition interlock. Interlock is a breathalyzer device that will prevent a car from being started unless the driver blows a 0.0. Upon reviewing Griffin's driving record, police found that he had a license restriction that prevented him from operating a vehicle without an interlock installed. He was taken into custody, charged with a misdemeanor for the incident, and is currently awaiting trial.
Is he a former Viking?
Yes.
Yes.
Wonder what was in Winona.
Guess. You got one guess.
I think I know the answer.
It always wins.
Undefeated.
We take a quick break here and hear from our friend, Mr. Kenny Olson.
For the want of a fuse, a boat went adrift. Now, if that happened to one guy I know, he would trade it in for a new boat without even wondering why the boat went adrift. Another guy I know, he would call on a friend, take care of the issue, then trade it in at Warner Stock in New Richmond, Wisconsin. Warner Stock on the web, warnerstock.com. They still have a big selection of Premier and Bentley pontoons on sale. Actually, it's a massive selection of both pontoons and boats and all the accessories you'll need. In fact, if you want or need a new boat, Warner Stock carries Alumacraft boats powered by, well, you have your choice, Suzuki, Yamaha, or Mercury outboards, and they love trades, even if that boat has a blown fuse. And that also means, and this is cool, they have a full selection of used fishing boats and pontoons in stock in New Richmond. From sales to service, storage, pontoons, fishing boats, docks, lifts. Warner's Dock in New Richmond does it all. They are the place for all your boating needs. You can see the entire inventory at warnerstock.com.
This guy wears many hats, just not indoors. Joe Souchere.
GLers, Reavers here once again for my buddy Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. I've known Josh for a number of years, and one thing I've always appreciated about him is that he's the same person off the air as he is on the air. He likes talking about baseball, but he loves trying to make you money. He's straightforward, he's honest, and he's going to tell you what he thinks. Over the years, I've met with a lot of GL listeners who have called Josh, sat down with him, and continue to work with him today. And many of those relationships started with just one single phone call. And I think that says a lot. People don't stay with an advertiser for years unless they're receiving value, guidance, and advice that they can trust. And for decades, Josh Arnold has helped make people smart financial decisions through bull markets, bear markets, recessions, inflation, and every kind of economic uncertainty imaginable. Maybe you're wondering if you're on track for retirement. Maybe you'd like a second opinion on your investments. Either way, call Josh today, 952-925-5608. Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Johnny?
Thanks, Chris. In national and international news, President Trump stopping the 2-week U.S. bombing campaign over the weekend in Iran. Iran stated it would suspend its own attacks for as long as the U.S. pause continues. The Pentagon suspended the bombing campaign Friday night with no new attacks coming on Saturday and Sunday. Tehran says it remains in control of the Strait of Hormuz and is not yet seeking to resume peace talks, rejecting a basic interim ceasefire proposal in favor of a permanent end to the war. Criticism for the Pentagon and White House concerning the Iranian war after the names of the 3 soldiers who were killed in an Iranian attack on an airbase in Jordan and the name of the soldier who died while dismantling a drone are no longer listed on the Pentagon's list of casualties in its military operation against Iran. The 4 soldiers' names originally appeared in the death toll for Operation Epic Fury, the name given to this operation, but they are now listed in a new category dubbed Overseas Operations. U.S. Central Command told the Associated Press all questions should be referred to the Pentagon. Neither the Defense Department nor the White House responded to its request for comment. Pentagon also updating its official war casualty database over the weekend, adding more than 140 wounded service members to that list. German police said a 21-year-old man with a record of Islamist extremist activity was shot and killed Sunday, one day after he drove a minivan into people near Berlin's Pride celebrations, killing one person. The ramming attack happened in the Tiergarten Park near the Brandenburg Gate about 10 p.m. on Saturday, not far from one of Europe's biggest annual LGBTQ celebrations, Christopher Street Day. Authorities said in addition to the one fatality, 29 people injured, some by a bladed weapon the attacker wielded. Berlin police wrote on social media around 6 p.m. the suspect involved in yesterday's attack was located at an allotment garden complex in Spandau. According to initial findings, he ran toward officers while armed with a bladed weapon. Police subsequently opened fire.
Do you have a Star Tribune nearby, Mr. Mayor Joe Souchere?
I do.
Can you grab the front cover of your Star Tribune, please, for me?
I can.
Based upon the story that John read, one of the single most embarrassing headlines that they have ever... And believe me, I get what the Star Tribune is trying to do, and I understand their agenda and what they're trying to do. It's on the right-hand side, describing the story John just read.
Van rams crowd at Pride in Berlin.
Yep.
Van?
Yep. Because, it's the gun's fault. It's the van's fault.
It was a Muslim guy.
It was a terrorist attack.
There is
Van
a second.
rams. You see, there's gun violence and there's van
violence. Yes, that's what this is.
Yeah.
This is
What
van
is that,
violence.
Joe, what is that secondary headline called in the business?
Subhead.
A subhead, man is killed by police after suspected act of Islamic extremism.
At van violence, that's all.
The Star Tribune's such a joke.
Well, probably every paper, the closer you get to the country's tallest buildings, would have a headline like
But
that.
that doesn't make it okay.
I'm not saying it's okay.
All right, sorry.
It's
I
too
was
bad
outraged when I saw that.
bad our friend in the Netherlands didn't know about this type of behavior before she fled California.
Van violence.
Here in the U.S., police looking for a second suspect this morning after gunfire erupted at a crowded food festival beneath Seattle's Space Needle, leaving 3 people dead and 4 others wounded, including a toddler.
Look up, serious, John, I'm sorry. Look up the Seattle Times right now. Go to the Seattle Times. See what the headline was on this.
Seattle Times.
There was a big shooting at a food fair in Seattle. Go ahead, John, I'm sorry.
Food violence.
Another suspect was earlier arrested. Investigators think the 2 suspects were shooting at each other Sunday. Although one remains on the loose, Assistant Seattle Police Chief Tyrone Davis told a news conference Sunday night there's no ongoing threat to the public. Dozens of officers were providing security at the event, and some saw one of the suspects firing. One suspect surrendered at the scene, but the other fled. Law enforcement searched the grounds but didn't find the other suspect. That festival started back in 1982, draws close to 400,000 people every year to the Seattle area.
There's 2 headlines on their main page. One reads, 3 dead in shooting at Seattle Center. Police search for second suspect. And live, they got the live feature on their police search for second Seattle Center shooting suspect and witness. And it's a live tracker on their main website.
Do you find those headlines acceptable?
I find those acceptable.
Very good. Continue, please.
Senator Mitch McConnell has been discharged from the hospital. after suffering that fall at his home, but will not return to Capitol Hill yet.
Where'd they put him?
84-year-old McConnell
Propped him up in the window.
I'm sitting over here.
84-year-old McConnell was hospitalized June 14th after he suffered a fall that left him briefly unconscious.
I don't feel very good.
He said in a statement released by his office today that he was, quote, working hard to get back to work. He said, I'm still working hard to get back to my full schedule of working.
Hard to get back to work.
By working hard, does he mean trying to keep his eyes open?
I'm pretending I'm alive.
Stop the drool?
I'm fighting for America.
I'm going to sit on the front porch, and I'm going to wave to the cars that go by. That way people will know I'm alive. They won't see the lane behind me moving my arm.
It's on a stick.
I see his eyes being propped open like Clockwork Orange. Remember at the end of that movie?
God.
I'm sorry I was out of commission for so long.
This story just was breaking when I came back to do news, so I grabbed it quick. So I don't know what this last sentence of his statement means. It says, unfortunately, that means I won't be able to make it to Fancy Farm, Kentucky this Saturday. So
A big shindig.
Fancy
is
farm.
there? Fancy Farm?
Is that a gay thing?
Is that a city?
I don't know what it is.
Okay, Norm MacDonald. You're one of them gays.
It's a zesty event.
What's it called, Jenny? I could look it up.
Fancy Farm, Kentucky. I don't know
Fancy
if that's
Farm.
a city or an event. Or
It's probably
whatever.
just a party, John.
You know
With
what
an
it would be?
accent on fancy.
Fancy.
It's a restaurant Joe would never eat at. Fancy Farm.
No.
I'm seeing it as a city.
All right. Well, apparently there's some big whoop-de-doo in Fancy Farm, Kentucky. Or maybe he lives there. I don't know. Or maybe, who knows?
He
Anyway.
isn't even alive. What do you care?
The Fancy Farm Picnic is a massive annual political rally
There you
and
go.
barbecue
There you
located in Graves County, about 10 miles northwest of Mayfield.
All right. There you go. Firefighters racing to contain dozens of wildfires across Spain and France today before a new wave of high temperatures that forecasters say will worsen conditions and potentially start new fires. Fueled by parched vegetation after weeks of successive heat waves, deadly fires around the cities of Bordeaux, Valencia, and Madrid, Spain's capital, have evaded days-long containment efforts by more than 4,000 firefighters. Fires have forced hundreds of thousands of people to evacuate, burned hundreds of homes, and resurfaced fears about Europe's climate. Climate.
Something's wrong with Joe's mic.
No, I'm just saying.
We
What are you
moving your
doing?
lips, though, weren't you?
I know.
Your
I'm-
lips are moving.
I was practicing.
Sometimes he practices.
You're practicing talking? Or
Well, just tuning up for John.
No,
Apparently, I'm getting closer to John disappointing
I
me.
only have one story left.
Okay,
so
here
if
it is.
This
Let's
isn't
see.
it.
Let me give you a little heads up. Kenny, he used to do that in the radio days.
I
and
remember that.
Rook would catch him and go, who you talking to, buddy? During
Who
the
you
commercial
talking
break.
to, buddy?
But it's unnerving to see him do that, and his mic light is on.
I know. I'll explain it to you in a moment.
I'm so used to it, I don't even notice it.
Here's
Is it
John's,
like a tongue twister or something you're working on?
here's John's final story.
Here's my final story, and I thought Kenny and you may be interested in this, okay?
All right.
Paul Andrews, an entrepreneur of the unexplained who helped found a convention where UFO believers could talk about extraterrestrial encounters, attended lectures on interstellar science, and donned night vision goggles to search for alien vehicles, died on June 30th at his home in Walnut Creek, California. He was 77. He was a believer in the paranormal since childhood when he recalled witnessing beings of light visiting his sister. Andrews introduced Contact in the Desert in 2013 at the Joshua Tree Retreat Center in Southern California. The annual event, which became known as the Woodstock of UFOs, drew thousands of people seeking fellowship, adventure, and affirmation. It cost you $250 to get in. A weekend-long convention provided multiple tracks of programming, including sessions on contact programming, including sessions on experiences meeting aliens, crop circles, and government cover-ups. Speakers included astronauts, scientists, UFO beat reporters like George Norrie, Art Bell, and Linda Moulton Howe. Contact in the Desert was not his first metaphysical rodeo. In the late 1980s, he ran the Whole Life Expo Yes, Kenny.
John,
you failed me.
Wait a second, Joe.
yeah.
Wait a second. I want to reminisce with John. That story reminds me of, remember the early days of the Krabby Coffee Shop with you and McLean, Don McLean?
right. Yep, sure.
We interviewed a guy from Dalton, Minnesota, who has been abducted repeatedly.
Yeah.
And every time they snatched him up, they removed his nipples.
Stole
That's
his
right.
nipples.
He had
Yeah.
buckets
And
of them.
he said they had buckets of nipples
Yeah.
on the spacecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do recall that.
All right.
Well,
Go ahead,
John,
Joe.
considering that you've been so condescending to us usually about music,
Uh-oh.
you must have thought this was beneath you. Last night I took a walk after dark, a swinging place
but
called
that-
Palisades Park.
but he died
to have some fun and see
yeah, okay.
what I
Freddie
could
Cannon
see.
died, yeah.
That's where the girls are.
Yeah, Freddie Cannon died.
Is that what you were
His name's
practicing?
not Frank Cannon.
I
John.
said Freddie. I
Freddie
said Freddie.
Boom Boom Cannon died.
That's right.
He died at the age of 89, and Palisades Park was among his numerous hits.
Don't feel bad, Chris. I have no idea either.
I tell you why that's a joke in my household. Many years ago, when I first met my wife. Now, this is I know you guys are young, Kenny and Chris.
I'm
but This
not.
very popular song. I know all the words
shit.
to. I could have sung along if I wanted to.
I took a ride on a shoot to shoot. That girl that sat by was awful cute. And after a while, she was holding hands with me.
Wow. Anyway, there's
Too bad his microphone's working, huh?
Yeah.
there's a line in that song.
We ate and ate
We
at
ate-
a hot dog
We,
stand.
we ate and ate at a hot dog stand.
We
And
danced around to a rockin' band.
for years, since I was 8 years old, I thought that line was, and it makes no sense, we ate an egg at a hot dog stand. so the song is playing, and my wife's sitting with me, and I go, we ate an egg at a hot dog stand.
He's like,
And
wait a
she-
minute. Put the brakes on.
Yeah, she looks at me
when
like
I
I am
could.
absolutely nuts. And now whenever this song plays anywhere near us, she
And when I
makes fun of
could,
me.
I gave that girl a hug. In the tunnel of love.
You'll never know how sweet a kiss can be.
That's right.
John, that's like Benny and the Jets. Who the hell knows what he's saying? You have no idea.
Anyway, Freddie Cannon died, Joe, if you're 89, okay?
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah. Well, I
You
just
really-
thought you'd have it in your news.
You let him down, John. You really broke his
I've
heart.
Usually
kinda-
you have musicians no one's ever heard of, and then you condescendingly tell us what a monster they were on some backup recording of an artist in Bulgaria. But now Freddie Cannon, American icon,
that's
American icon, Palisades Park, dies and you don't mention it.
Freddie Cannon's been doing oldies shows for 40 years, Joe.
So what?
He's not a
See, you're being condescending again.
That's
this was
right.
beneath you.
Here, you
just
want- let me
This
be
was beneath you.
let me be condescending once more. Those people that you guys never heard of is because you guys don't pay any attention to music. There, take that.
I have the latest news report on that oldie singer.
Hey, I got a question. How come oldies stations are always playing the same song? How about some new oldies?
He played with
geniuses?
he played with the Belmonts.
Like Dion and the Belmonts?
I don't know.
How about some new
He
old?
sang
Proving
Too
your
Much
point.
Monkey Business, Action,
Thank you.
Transistor Sister, Abigail Beecher. He is the record holder for 110 appearances on Dick Clark's American Bandstand.
110?
Yep.
Holy
Playing the
moly.
same
Tell me
song?
he didn't deserve a mention on this show.
Let's see.
Freddie Cannon.
Way down yonder in New Orleans, Tallahassee Lassie.
I just said those. That's right. Played with the
And,
Belmonts. He knew the Beatles personally.
I can tell you a story about Freddie Boom Boom Cannon. I can't mention any names, though. A former acquaintance of mine that I knew visited with Freddie when he was stopping by at an oldie show in Bismarck. That's the best way I can put it, okay?
All right.
I'll leave it at that.
Was he smoking a dog leg? Did he have a big old spleef going?
You want to take a time out?
Yes, I do.
And now, a man who has never had a relationship with a tree, Joe Souchere.
We don't know that. North American Banking Company is here for you, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, the official bank here in Garage Logic, investing in your success since 1998. And you know what? Way back then, they decided to create a better banking experience for their customers where you get to know your banker personally, and they also get to know you, your family, your needs, your business, everything. And they make all of that so super easy and also convenient with 6 Twin Cities locations. Roseville and 50th at France, that's the home of yours truly. But you can also see them in Hastings, Woodbury, Shoreview, and also in Maple Grove. They offer you the same updated online and mobile banking tools as all of those other big national banks. Whether you're looking to buy a home, finance a new home renovation project, or get that new car that you've been thinking about, or maybe even starting up your own business, they're here for you. nabankco.com. That's their website where you can learn more. It's banking done differently. North American Banking Company, member FDIC, is an equal housing lender. Joe?
The local public radio news site, NPR, has a story about Marjorie Johnson, who we lost last October at the age of 106. And a new award will be given this year in honor of Marjorie, called the Marjorie Johnson Honeybee Award. It will be given to the best baker, I guess, at the fair.
Nice.
And the family of Marjorie's family, they're all physicists and doctors, and they will sponsor the award. You would think the fair could loosen up its wallet and do it themselves, but no, the family will do it, which is great.
Well, after we had the president on, what was that, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, how much you want to pay for it? I thought, okay.
Yeah.
Do they need a fundraising effort, Marjorie's family? Should I volunteer us to help them raise money for that or not? Or no?
Or no.
And I keep looking for Garage Logic to get mentioned in here. But,
by NPR?
But it
Jesus,
doesn't.
Joe.
Yeah.
What fantasy world are you living in?
You know what? Marjorie was as cute as a button when she was younger. Well, she was cute as an older woman,
She
too.
was always adorable.
But she was just a doll.
Yes.
There's a picture of her, though. Remember that Jimmy Carter picture where he was in the chair with the... and then Rodson was in the other chair. And,
Turning off my mic here.
With the Bidens?
And, there's kind of that effect there because Marjorie was not tall.
What's wrong with you, Joe?
No, I'm just...
You know, you're raising an interesting point. I wonder, so Marjorie died, was it October, you said?
October.
Who do you think, which family member do you think was the beneficiary of receiving the Garage Logic Medal of Freedom? Which,
don't you think that would have
child?
No, I
don't know if Marlene might have wanted it. Or...
What normally happens when Grandma and Grandpa pass away? What happens to their stuff?
Get rid of it.
Well, that's an interesting question. Having been in Marjorie's house, it was a beautiful house in Robbinsdale.
Okay.
If you said that it was on a lake, or there's a little lake out there. But whoever buys that house either will have to be diminutive or they're going to have to rebuild much of it.
Was it a tiny house?
Because it was all custom. Seriously.
Oh.
The counters were shorter and all the oven door was low in the wall. No, seriously, it was just beautifully designed to accommodate her because she'd bake like a mad woman all day long. And
Munchkin House.
well, yes. And so whoever buys that, or maybe it's going to be a museum or something, I don't know.
That's exactly what should be done with it.
You know what what's missing in this story, and I don't know if any of Marjorie's kids ever did it. It would be interesting. Let me make sure. I would like an actual count of her ribbons. I bet they're in the thousands.
The final tally?
Because she didn't just do the state fair.
No.
She'd show up at these county fairs.
Was it the Anoka one that she was
she
always
did
at?
Anoka.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about Marjorie is she gave you the needle like a champion.
Oh, yeah.
Every year.
I mean, it was equal to the CP or us that
Oh, yeah.
work with you,
Yeah.
or your family, your
terrible.
brothers and sisters. Yeah.
terrible.
No,
Joe-
she was a champion at
It
giving
was an
you
art
the needle.
form. It was an art
yeah.
form.
Yeah.
The second paragraph, Joe.
Yeah.
It's named after the iconic Robbinsdale resident who won over 2,500 ribbons at state and county fairs.
Oh, it's right there in the second paragraph.
second paragraph.
I probably should have read it.
I know it's Marjorie, but
Oh, yeah,
Iconic still gets the
2,500
one.
ribbons. Isn't
Take it-
that something?
Taking reading lessons from Chris now, huh?
See,
And
that's
she-
just
Sorry,
mean. I didn't
Chris.
do anything.
Sorry, Chris.
She
That
was
was
known
a
as
zinger.
and that's why she got the name the Blue Ribbon Baker.
That's right.
She was I loved her. Hey,
It's
this
not gonna-
summer, this summer there was supposed to be a memorial for her, and I haven't heard about
They
it.
probably didn't find the right funding.
I don't know. No, the family was going to fund the award, the Honeybee Award.
Oh, I thought you meant the fair was looking.
I
for
think
the-
you should kick in at the very least. Write a check, Joe.
Well, I'd be happy to. I believed in Marjorie. Marjorie Johnson is as much responsible for what Garage Logic is and has become as anyone. Seriously, think about the state fair and all the radio shows that go out to the fair,
Right.
and they don't know what the hell to do. And either did we, either did I.
Until you met Marjorie.
The first fair, I believe she was with us the first fair.
Was that 93?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it opened my eyes to what you had to do at the fair. You had to entertain the people who were standing right there. You couldn't do your regular show. Stubbornly, I probably tried to do the regular show that first year, despite Marjorie's appearance.
You know what I don't get about program directors in the Metro? If they just walked around and they hit every single radio booth, they would learn that really simple lesson.
Yeah.
But they all fight that. They all say, ignore what's going on at the fair, do your show. And that's why there's 10 people standing there watching them.
And if you ever wonder why radio shows would do the state fair, it was because those were the days of the what's the rating system we used to have?
Marketron.
No,
Arbitron.
where you
Arbitron.
filled out a diary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the whole hope was for radio stations that people would go to the fair and they'd say, oh, yeah, we saw so-and-so. We walked by so-and-so when it came time on Sunday night or whatever to fill out their diary of what they listened to. Then that station would get noted for that.
And then half the time they'd get it wrong. They listened to Ruth at the KSTP booth.
Yeah, I
which
mean, it
is
was
just,
a
wait
really
minute, what?
lousy way of rating, just a lousy rating system.
Some might say it still is.
It is. It's a horrible rating system. So, but podcasts, interestingly enough, why are they able to be rated so accurately?
Because there's data. There's actual factual data.
Because you have to press a button somewhere, right, to listen to the show.
That's right.
Okay. Getting back to Marjorie.
Here we go.
Well, Marjorie gave birth to the whole Garage Logic at the fair. It became a fair within the fair.
That's right.
Because if Marjorie was that great of a guest, who else is out here? And that unleashed a torrent of
Monty,
the
and Wheeler guy,
barbershop quartets, and the Wacky Wheeler, and Mimes, and God knows who. It was just
Sean Emery.
Sean Avery. Emery.
Yep.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful. But
Yeah.
you can't reinvent the wheel. So we're doing 2 shows this year.
Without Marjorie for the
But
first
with
time.
music.
Yes.
And that music became part of that. Mm-hmm. And then the rule became we can have anybody on, but they must be at the fair. We had a lot of people who wanted to be on that had nothing to do with the fair. We said, no, if you're performing at the fair, you can be on. But if they weren't, what would the point be? You had to be at the fair.
I personally like Royce's approach to the fair. Tape an
Tape-record
interview
an
at
interview.
the station and then go out there and sit there while that interview plays.
And eat a gizmo.
Yeah.
Yeah, or talk to people about his catheter.
And people walk up to the mic and he says, keep moving, pal.
Yeah, hey,
We're not doing
one-man
that.
destruction. What do you call that one?
One-man wrecking crew.
One-man wrecking crew, because some poor kid knocked over a sign.
Yeah,
or
you
something,
knocked
you know.
over the whole works.
So anyway,
Hey,
God bless you, Marjorie. It's the Honeybee Award. All right.
Remember Marjorie with Sharon Jones?
My favorite moment in the history of the world.
So
I'm so
much
glad I was
fun.
there for that.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. You know, if a guy was on the ball, he'd find that.
If a guy didn't look at the clock, he'd understand why I'm not playing it.
Oh, well, who cares? We got time.
We don't. You know what? We'll play it this week, though. How about that?
You got Royce in.
Pat, are you here?
Yes.
Okay. Only because they come to us all the way from Marloth Park in Mpumalanga, South Africa. Minnesota hit a slow spot again today in July.
We can't hear him.
He wants people to leave the animals alone in Africa. The traveling Lymans don't hunt the animals, Pat. They're not bothering the animals. The animals come up to their house.
It was on this day.
On this day.
July 27th.
Says a guy that used to hunt pheasants out of the back of his dad's car.
Right. On this day.
July 27th.
In 1898, Alexander Ramsey, whose name hardly ever gets mentioned on this day in history, who had served as governor during the Civil War, set the cornerstone of the third state Capitol building. Designed by Cass Gilbert, the Capitol was a memorial to Minnesota's Civil War soldiers. That's the current Capitol building, right?
Yes.
On this, and don't give me this reparation BS either. We got a whole Capitol dedicated to the Minnesotans who lost their lives fighting the Civil War.
Yeah. Was there some kind of competition with the cathedral there?
I don't know. On this day,
July 27th.
I think he does know.
I don't know.
In 1972, and don't we? Well, no. There's a curse working with younger people. They don't remember anything. This was a big deal. On this day in 1972, kidnappers abducted Virginia Piper, wife of investment banker Harry C. Piper Jr., from her home. The Minneapolis woman was released near Duluth after a ransom of $1 million was paid. At the time, the highest such payments ever made. I think the guys that got her were dummies and they were caught. I have to look it up again and refresh my memory. But she was taken from her home out Minnetonka way, and it was a big, big deal. Mm-hmm. Big deal. You know, John, you remember it.
I don't. I mean, I know of it because there's been books about it.
Well, never mind. On this day in sports disappointment history.
Who'd we lose to on July 27th, Joe?
Well, in 1929, Minnesota lost and gained an NFL franchise on the same day. I don't know what that means. The Duluth Eskimos were an NFL franchise. On this day,
July 27th.
In 1959, the Continental League formed with a team in Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Huh.
Pat, what was the Continental League?
Can't hear him.
It was going to be a rival to Major League Baseball. It had 8 teams, and we had a team in it.
Why don't we just put a mic in that office? Jesus.
And maybe open the door.
Thank you, GLers.
Yes, thank you. If you haven't done so, join the 21,000 subscribers that we have on the Garage Logic YouTube channel, where you can watch the show every single day. Yes, right around noon. You can also see full segments. There's video shorts. There's behind-the-scenes footage. Just search Garage Logic, 2 words, on YouTube, along with all of our social media channels. That includes X, Twitter, as I like to call it, Instagram, Facebook. It's all there for you. And if you haven't done so yet, sign up for the Daily Logician. That is an email that comes right to your inbox each and every single day, and it includes the most recent episode of the podcast. Find out more and sign up today online at Garage Logic.